So today we will discuss about diffusion of innovation theory, and this theory is a second theory under dominant paradigm, right? And today we will understand that how this theory came and how it tried to postulate that how an idea can be diffused in a society. Diffused means transferred in a society. So this diffusion of innovation theory was given by Everett K. Rogers, right? And it is one of the dominant approaches to the role of communication in development during 1960s. Actually, in 1962, he wrote a book. The title of the book was Diffusion of Innovation. And this book was based on a study conducted in America, in a state of America, where that was the time, 1960s was the time when various new innovations were taking place in agriculture, and induction of technology was in place at that time. So people and farmers were adopting various technologies in agriculture. So he conducted a study in 1962, and on the basis of that study, he gave this model, and he also wrote a book titled Diffusion of Innovation, right? And after that, he repeated his studies in various third world countries also. And now presently, this book is in fifth edition, 2003. The fifth edition of this book came. So he tried to, through this model, he tried to give a concept that how an innovation or an idea can be perceived by an individual, right? And how to diffuse it into a society. So this is a theory. The necessary route to change from a traditional to modern person was understood as acceptance of ideas from source external to social system. Here you need to understand that on the line of domain, this theory also states that you will have to become modern from traditional society. And how it will be done? By acceptance of ideas, and that ideas will not come from internal sources. It means the society's indigenous ideas may not help the traditional societies to become a modern society, but obviously that idea will be external from the social system. It means if India is a traditional society, and if India has to change, then idea of change will come from external sources. It means from other countries, from other systems, and then only traditional society may change into modern society. So he further said that various elements of diffusion of an idea. If you want to diffuse an idea into society, there are various elements. First is that the innovation. It means there must be some innovation. Innovation in technology, innovation in ideas, some innovative ideas, which should look like innovative, people should accept it as innovative, and so that they tend to accept that idea. So first element of diffusion of an idea is that it must be innovative, right? Second is its communication through certain channels. That innovative ideas should be communicated through various channels and among members of a social system. That social system is also important, that in a social system, in a set system, you have to diffuse that idea from various communication channels over time. It means again and again. Innovation and ideas, people don't adopt ideas and innovations at a single time communication, with a single time communication. Because there are certain jinx, there are certain deadlocks you have to break, then they tend to accept a new idea, and at least that's why you have to communicate it again and again. That's why if you read all these four elements in a sentence, it is like that: diffusion of an idea. Diffusion of an idea is the innovation and its communication through certain channels among members of a social system over time. This is what a complete sentence is, and these are the elements of diffusion of an idea. And adoption was defined as process through which an individual arrived at a decision to adopt or reject an idea. Adoption means not only that people will adopt the idea; it is a process of adoption, and undergoing this process, at the end, individuals or society may reject the idea. So rejection or adoption, that is different thing, but basically the whole process of adoption is like this, right? So if someone rejects the idea, it does not mean that the adoption has not taken place, because the person must have gone through various steps. First step, second step, third step, and at the last or at end, he might not be interested in adopting the idea. So that's why he rejected the idea. It means that the person have gone through the whole process. That's why we are talking about the process. We are not talking that how many people have adopted it, how many people have rejected it. Those who rejected it, those have also adopted the same process, right? So adoption means that going through a process, right? So there are 5 stages of diffusion. If you put an idea into a society, there are 5 stages. First, and these 5 stages are interrelated. You have to memorize it in this series only, right? You will not change the sequence of these stages. So first is the awareness. That first, if you give an idea, if you give innovative idea or you give an innovation, then people get aware from that idea. After getting aware, they become interested, right? That okay, it is interesting, it must be tried, at least we should see whether it is beneficial or not. So second stage is people will get interested. Third stage is evaluation. People will evaluate that whether the existing system and this new idea, and what difference this new idea will bring into the society or into into an individual's life, right? So people will evaluate the benefits, disadvantages, advantages, all these things. So third stage is that first people will get aware, then they will get interested. At third stage, they will evaluate that whether it will benefit them or not. Fourth stage is trial. They will try. They will start trying the new idea, right? And after, on the basis of the result of that trial, they will go to the fifth stage. That will be adoption and rejection. After trial, they will see the result, and then they will decide that they should adopt the idea or they should reject the idea. So these are the 5 stages of diffusion. And early adopters. Who are early adopters? In coming slides, you will come to know. Early adopters are known as opinion leaders, right? So to learn these 5 stages, this is popularly known as AITA model, right? AIETA, the first letter of these words, you can remember it, AITA model, right? And this will help you to remember these keywords in a sequence, right? So what is AITA? A for awareness, I for interest, E for evaluation, T for trial, and fifth is adoption or rejection, right? So these are 5 stages. Now, on the basis of some people may adopt it fully, some people may not adopt it, some people may wait for others to adopt it first, then they will follow them. So there are various categories of adopters, right? So Rogers classified these adopters into 5 categories, right? So first category is innovators. Innovators are very limited. Only 2.5% people are innovators. These are the people who are very much interested in using new thing, applying new ideas, right? So these people are called innovators, and they are ready to accept new idea. Second category is early adopters. They are, it is the result of his researches actually. It is not meant to be applied on every society. So if you apply this theory in your own setting, this percentage may vary. But this is what he suggested, that this is the basic features of the society, that innovators will be less in the society. And then second category is early adopters, and that early adopters are opinion leaders. They have leadership qualities, right? They need just some information regarding new thing, and they are very eagerly waiting for adopt the new idea, right? So these are early adopters. Third are early majority. It means early majority are that they have no leadership quality. Basically, they see others, that how many people have adopted it, and if they see that okay, some people have adopted it and some people are using it, so okay, we should also use it. So these people are early majority. They follow early adopters. Then fourth category is late majority. Late majority are basically they are some they are little they are conservative kind of people basically, and they need some success stories, right? They need some results, data, that okay, this much population have adopted this thing and how they benefited, right? So they will see the data, they will see the result, that how many people got affected, and then only they will affect. They will see that okay, it's rampant. For example, see the example of this smartphones. So there were people when this smartphone started coming, there were people, even I witnessed it, who used to criticize this smartphone. They used to say that this small phone, 2G phone, is good. Even if you go to the old people, they still believe in this thing, that old phone, 2G phone is good. This 3G phone and 4G phone are best. So this is what they feel, right? So and now slowly and slowly, but there were people who were innovators who accepted it. And then early adopters, they have leadership quality. They adopted it. They saw benefits. They saw that this is a society. Then early majority also, they followed early adopters. They saw that yes, few people have adopted, why not us? So they also adopted it. And then late majority, that they are forced to adopt it. They have not adopted it by happily, but they forced to adopt it because they saw that it is everywhere. Smartphone is everywhere, so they have to adopt it. And last is laggards. Laggards means they are very traditional kind of people. They are conservative kind of people, and it is very difficult for them to adopt new things. So they accept the new idea. Okay, so these are the 5 categories of 5 adopters. These are certain things which have been written here. These innovators, these are people who want to be the first to try the innovation. These people are very willing to take risks and are often the first to develop new ideas. Even sometimes, who are innovators? Who bring new ideas to the societies? Basically, these are the people. 2.5% people are innovators, or they are early. They are ready to accept new ideas also. Early adopters, as I said, that they are people who represent opinion leaders. They are opinion leaders, and they are already aware of the need to change, and so they are very comfortably adopting new ideas. They are very eager to adopt new ideas. Then early majority, these people are rarely leaders, but they do adopt new ideas before the average person. They want to see evidence that innovation works. As I told you, that they need something to count upon. They want some data that okay, and this innovation is working. So then they will adopt. And late majority, these people are skeptical of change and will only adopt an innovation after it has been tried by the majority. If, as I told you, that if it is rampant, if everybody has accepted it, then these 30%, 34% people will adopt it. And even after that, 15, 16% people remain at this level. Those are laggards. These people are bound by tradition and very conservative. They are very skeptical of change and are the hardest group to bring on board. So there are various communication strategies for all these groups, right? For innovators, you just have to make them aware. Just you have to inform them that this is the new technology and you can use it. So they will adopt it. Without any further delay. Then second one, early adopters. For this category of people, you need to provide them some leaflets. You have to provide them certain information. You have to provide them some do's and don'ts, how to adopt these things, how will it affect their life. So certain information these early adopters people need. So then only they will go ahead. Early majority people, for them you have to provide them for communication strategy I'm talking about. For these category of people, you have to provide them data. You have to provide them some success stories that how these things may work. Late majority, again you have to provide them that how majority of population have adopted it and how all of them are benefiting from this and why you are not adopting it. So they will be finally adopted. And for laggards, the communication strategy is very difficult because you have to break traditional or conservative attitude. So it is a very long process. So that's why these people are kept under laggards. That if I'm talking about laggards, it does not mean, suppose for the example I have taken about smartphones. So one person on the example on the adoption of smartphones, one person may be laggard. It does not mean that that person be laggards on every innovations. That person will laggard on every new ideas. No, this category may change. Every person. It doesn't mean that if at one technology, in adoption of one technology, if I am early adopter, then it means on every technology I will be early adopters. On some technologies I may be laggards, and on some technology laggards may be early adopters, right? So don't use this laggard terms as the fixed kind of term. No, population varies about the on the basis of the availability of technologies, right? So this is the thing. And then 5 factors influence adoption. Which are the factors which influence adoption? So there are 5 main factors, right? First one is relative advantage. Relative advantage means, suppose you want farmers to use tractors to plow their field, right? So and till now they were using bull farming. So now if you are asking them to plow their field through tractors, they will see that what is the relative advantage. It means plowing field with bull and plowing field through tractors. What will be the advantage, relative advantage from bull farming? So this is the factor, first factor, that people will see advantage. That what is the advantage in adopting the new thing. Second thing is compatibility. Compatibility means that how compatible idea is in the current settings. Current settings means that social settings, economic settings, the existing value system, existing customs. Also that how one of my students called me and he talked about the worship of Corona Mata, right? And the same thing is the compatibility. He knows that this is not good and this kind of practices to stop that. But basically if he will ask people to not to go for worshipping Corona Mata, this idea is not compatible with the existing social system or cultural system. So this factor also affect adoption, right? So compatibility of idea is also important in adoption. Third is complexity. Complexity means that it must be easy to use, right? It should be complex. Suppose I'm asking you to do certain thing and it is very complex. You are not able to understand it and you are not able to use it even, right? So complexity also affect. If it is easy to use, people will start using it, right? Fourth is triability. Variability means that people must have option to try it and see the result first. Otherwise, After that, they will decide that whether the idea should be adopted or rejected, right? So there are certain ideas which are not, you have to fully adopt it. There is no option of triability, right? And this is the problem with many ideas. And fifth one is observability. Observability means that result must be observable. Suppose you are saying that you start drinking boiled water, right, and it will help you to keep you healthy, then it must be observable. Suppose they have started drinking boiled water from now, so they must have certain observation. You must provide them certain observation that yes, in last 3-4 months, how many people were ill in their society, and now how many people are ill in their society. So this observability will help them to further accept or reject the idea. So these are the factors which influence adoption, right? So then, I mean, now some concluding points, that this concept was designed to explain the contribution of communication technology, hardware and software to the process of economic growth, right? So as we talked about that innovation, innovative technology, this was the time the new tech, provide those technologies to developing nations. Obviously, there were certain business interests also, but okay, they were the various communication strategists, they were trying to portray all these technologies as an agent of change, and that's why they were asking people of developing nations to adopt these technologies. So this concept was designed to further promote the communication technology. The transfer of technology was the key determining factor in the development process. In this theory, you will find that transfer of technology was the key determinant, because you are asking about new ideas, new innovation, and you have said already that idea will be external from the source. Innovation from the will come from the external source. It will not come from the internal source. So transfer of technology become the key, that whether Western countries are transferring the technologies or not. And this is basically, you cannot question his finding, because he has done research, and out of that research he gave this result, right? It's okay, you can say that it may not work in other countries, but wherever he tried his idea, he found this result. So you cannot say that this is just an idea. It is a well researched idea, right? So that's why he is very vocal in explaining certain things and asking developing nations to adopt certain things, right? And also asking developed nations to transfer technology, and what are the key elements for bringing development in the developing nations. The concept of diffusion of innovation was intended to contribute to an understanding of the process whereby traditional societies could catch up to Western monopoly capitalism. We have already discussed in detail that by diffusion of innovation will further help traditional societies to catch up with Western capitalist setup. It is in economic, society, everywhere. Developing nations should catch up with the Western monopolistic capitalistic society. So mass media was seen as an exogenous factor. As I told you that this is a fact. This is not a endogenous factor. Endogenous factor means that it works within society. It works with the society. No, exogenous factor means that it will work externally. It will provide information. It will try to give idea. So it will the role of mass media will be not participatory kind of development. The role of mass media is to provide them information which is necessary to change, right? So these are the things which he talked about, and there are certain limitations. First limitation is that much of the evidence for this theory, including the adopted categories, was not developed to explicitly apply to adoption of new behavior. As I told you that he applied his idea, this theory, on adoption of agricultural technology, right? So this theory is also applicable on behaviors, how to change behavior, how to there are certain social problems also, and where we want people to change their behaviors. So whether this theory will be applicable to this also. This is not you cannot say with conviction, because this is not applied. This theory emerged from a research based on transfer of agricultural technology. So this is the first limitation. Second limitation is that it does not foster a participatory approach to adoption. As I told you that it is just, I mean, idea will be provided externally, and it is not participatory model of development. So participation of societies, participation of individuals, participation of within the society or between the society, all the participation between government and common people, participation between government development agencies and I mean common people. These kind of participatory approach is missing in this theory. The third limitation is it does not take into account an individual's resources or social support to adopt the new behavior. Right? As you have already seen that it is only limited to that how to provide new idea and new innovation from external source. It is not taking into account that what are the resources available for the individuals to adopt that change, to adopt that behavior, whether there is any social support system or not. Right? You want to apply those changes, but you don't find any support in your society, and that's why you are not able to adopt that behavior. And in Indian condition, there are so many things which you will find that just due to lack of social support, we are not able to. We know that this is wrong. We know that this should be we should adopt this new idea, and we should reject our traditional thought. But due to lack of social support, we are not able to do so. So this theory does not take account into all these limitations, because how to deal with all these things, right? And fourth limitation is that it works better with adoption of behaviors rather than prevention of behaviors. Yes, because yes, it talks about that how to promote a new idea, but it does not talk that how to prevent people from uh, keep behaving in a manner they are behaving till now. So it is not preventive. It is not related to preventing people from certain behaviors, but it is this theory is based on adoption of behaviors only. So these are certain limitations of this theory. But yes, this is very popular theory. There are, I mean, many research papers. More than 4,000 researches have been conducted based on this theory only. And even now, this theory is very much in use. People use this theory in health, behavior, sociology, medical behavior, also sanitation related behavior. So this theory is being used by several scholars, and that's why this theory is very important till now, right? So this is diffusion of innovation theory. Now if you have any question, you can ask. experiences of opinion leaders. Some opinion leaders in society, they use it and they start promoting that idea. Then only early majority or late majority start adopting that idea.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
So majority will find that innovators and early adopters, there are very few. I mean, these are only 15 to 16% people in our society, and that's why I always tell my students that those who have understanding about the problem, who have understanding about the society, who can tell the people what is the problem in the society and what will be the solution, they must be vocal, right? Because they are less in the society. And that's why people manipulate them. So those who are on right path, those who want change in real sense, they must be vocal for change. They must be vocal in identifying problems or giving solutions. Right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
और
सर
कोई सवाल?
ओपिनियन लीडर्स में टीचर्स भी आते हैं क्या?
Opinion leaders में देखो, not teachers. On one case you might say that yes, teachers may be opinion leaders, and on other case teachers might not be opinion leaders. As I told you, that it will vary innovation to innovation. On one innovation or on one idea, you may find that some people may be innovators, some people may be earlier. It is not fixed criteria. Teachers may not be always opinion leaders. On some issues, on some cases, teachers might be laggards also. Teachers might be early majority also. Right? So this is not fixed criteria. You cannot say that all the teachers are opinion leaders. No, you cannot say. Because teachers as a community, it is a very, varied community. You cannot fix them in a particular category. It will keep changing, right? Even among students also, some people may be early adopters, some people may be laggards, some people may be early majority, right?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
You cannot fix it. You cannot fix that teachers will be opinion leaders. So teachers will not be opinion leaders always. But yes, those, as I told you, that those who can understand because you people are in masters, so you have greater responsibility, because it is believed that you have more empathy. You should have more empathy towards the problems of our society. You should have more understanding about the problems and solution of our societal problem. So you must be vocal. You must be vocal about the problems. You must be very vocal about giving the solutions. But you will find that even these class, I also want to recommend you people one movie if you want to watch, that how this social media has affected our young generation. And there is a Netflix documentary. In Netflix, there is a documentary. The documentary name is The Social Dilemma. You can write down The Social Dilemma. This is a documentary. This is a documentary based on the people who left organizations like Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and they have created a new organization, and the organization name is the Center for Humane Technology. Right. So you people should watch this movie, this documentary, and this will be very, learning experience for you people. You will learn so many things about social media, and all those things are reality. Right. So if you don't have Netflix ID, then when university will open, I will give you. I have the movie. I have downloaded it, so I will provide you. So you must watch this movie. And those who have Netflix ID, you may watch this movie. And if some of you have that ID, you can share that ID among your friends, and they may watch this movie. Right?
Sir, is it on Disney Hotstar, sir?
No, no, not in Disney Hotel Star. It is Netflix documentary.
Okay, sir.
The Social Dilemma. Very nice movie. I have seen, and I mean, you must watch. I mean, some things, as I suggest you, some books must be read by you people. And in the same manner, I'm suggesting that this documentary must be watched by every individual in our society. Then only you will find that you are puppet. We are puppet basically. You know. So, और कोई सवाल?
सर,
हम्म
तो लगार्ड्स ग्रुप में सिर्फ कंजर्वेटिव पीपल को ही इंक्लूड किया गया या फिर वैसे पीपल को भी इंक्लूड किया गया जो आइडिया को एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं करना चाहते हैं,
हाँ
रिजेक्ट ही नहीं करते?
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, उन्हीं को लगाता है। लेकिन उसमें भी देखो, लगात, मैं बार बार कह रहा हूँ, लगात कोई फिक्स नहीं है। मैंने एक बार देखा था आज से 2-3 साल पहले, जब ये टॉपिक मैंने पढ़ाया था, तो कई बच्चों ने मजाक मजाक में, कुछ बच्चों को क्लास में ही लगाट्स कहना शुरू कर दिया। तो अब मुझे फिर बाद में समझाना पड़ा कि भैया ये कोई परमानेंट कैटेगरी थोड़ी है लगाट्स, किसी को लगाट घोषित कर दो, किसी को ओपिनियन लीडर घोषित कर दो, नहीं। इट चेंजेस टाइम टू टाइम, और टेक्नोलॉजी आइडिया बाय आइडिया इट चेंजेस, है ना। एक आइडिया में हो सकता है आप ओपिनियन लीडर हो, दूसरे आइडिया में हो सकता है दूसरा ओपिनियन लीडर हो। एक आइडिया में हो सकता है दूसरा लेगार्ड हो, दूसरे आइडिया में हो सकता है आप लेगार्ड हो जाए, आप उसको एक्सेप्ट ना कर सकें। ऐसा होता है ना, हर आइडिया तो हम सबको एक्सेप्ट होता नहीं है। कई सारी जो पॉजिटिव आइडियाज भी हैं। अब इन लड़कों से ईमानदारी से पूछ लो कि दहेज जब इनके घर में जब शादी करेंगे और दहेज जब मांगा जाएगा तो क्या ये विरोध करेंगे? इन सब के सब जो है दिल से नहीं कह पाएंगे कि हाँ विरोध करेंगे, ईमानदारी से। क्यों? सोशल कस्टम है, सोशल प्रेशर है, बहुत तरह की चीजें हैं। तो उसमें क्या, अब उसमें क्या होता है कि अब देखो, अब इस मामले में सब लेगार्ड हो गए कि नहीं हो गए? हो गया ना? ओपिनियन लीडर कैसे? हाँ, यही आइडिया टू आइडिया वेरी करता है। उसी तरीके से कई लड़कियों को कह दो कि नहीं भैया काम करना बहुत जरूरी है, वर्किंग वुमेन बनो, बहुत जरूरी है। तो कई जो है लड़कियां कहते हैं नहीं, क्या फायदा है इसे वर्किंग वुमेन बनने का। कई लड़कियों को मैंने देखा है, और चाहत होती है उनकी, लेकिन उसके लिए जो प्रयास करना होता है, उसके लिए जो संघर्ष करना होता है, वो नहीं कर पाती है। तो फिर इस मामले में वो लेगार्ड हो गई। तो ये क्या होता है, वेरी करेगा, हमेशा वेरी करेगा, आइडिया टू आइडिया। दहेज प्रथा के लिए हो सकता है कोई और लेगार्ड हो जाए, उसी तरीके से विमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात करें तो वहां पे कोई और लेगार्ड हो जाएगा, कास्ट सिस्टम की बात करो तो वहां पे कोई और लेगार्ड हो जाएगा, दलित उत्थान की बात करो तो वहां पे कोई और लेगार्ड हो जाएगा। आप समझ रहे हैं? ये सब देखो, इसमें मैंने एग्जांपल्स दिए, इसमें अलग अलग कम्युनिटी के लोग अलग अलग तरीके से बिहेव करेंगे। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारा वैल्यू सिस्टम, हमारा सोशल कस्टम, हमारा सोशल सिस्टम इसी तरीके का है। ठीक है? तो और कोई सवाल आप लोगों के? नहीं तो चलो क्लास खत्म किया जाए। चलो ठीक है फिर, ओके देन, बाय।